Hey guys, welcome back. Today I just want to talk about something that I'm really passionate about, which is the feminine and masculine energy, the differences, and something that came up on a podcast recently where two individuals were describing this difference between yin energy being from a state of chaos and yang energy, the masculine, being order. So many of you had heard this before, chaos and order, right? You know the yin yang, you know the difference between the masculine and feminine and how they both have dual but opposite energies that complement each other. So Jordan Peterson actually was the first one to discuss this, well, not the first one, but to discuss this yin energy, the feminine energy, as being chaos. And that without having a grounding principle of a masculine to bring order, she will be in a state of static or chaos. I just want to bring a little bit of a perspective to this because most of you who know me or know this channel know that I discuss not only the masculine and feminine energy embodied in a sex, right? So a man and a woman, but actually how these principles play out in our own hemispheres of our brain. So we all know that the right brain is the creative, feminine principled side of the brain. The left side of the brain is the logical, analytical, masculine form of the brain. You can Google that, look it up. There's a lot of really great information out there about this. And a gentleman named Ian McGilchrist talks a lot about the bi-hemispheres of the brain and a lot of work that I'm really passionate about. But today I just want to describe that the yin energy, I believe, can come from a state, the feminine energy can have chaos and order, just as the masculine energy can have chaos and order. I think in the more balanced realm, when you take this energy out into the world, they both complement each other in these ways. But before we talk about a man and a woman, I want to talk about just you as a man or a woman. I am a woman, obviously. So I want to talk about this masculine and feminine energy that resides within and maybe why certain people or philosophers or psychologists or whomever may assume that the yin energy is chaotic without her masculine counterpart or the order. For me and my understanding and my experiential journey has been understanding the ways in which I actually have been conditioned to live more in a chaotic, maybe distrustful state of energy with my masculine energy. So I had more of these, I would say, inverted masculine energetic principles, and many women today, and we actually propagate this in the world, especially in Hollywood and in certain films, we propagate the woman being equal to the man and taking on male gendered roles. And to be quite honest, for myself, I know my limitations. I don't mentally think that I'm any different than a man, but I will say that I do realize, I recognize, and I honor that I have different qualities than a man does. And I don't need or desire to prove myself that I'm equal to. I don't want to be equal to a man in many things. I don't have the body for it. I'm not built for it. That doesn't mean that I'm weak. It means that I know the role that I've come into in this paradigm, in this reality, in this world. And I'm very honoring of when I'm in my feminine principled energy. I'm softer, I'm more graceful, I'm more fluid, I'm more creative. This is the feminine principle, the right hemisphere of the brain. The yin can appear chaotic. The feminine energy can be chaotic when her own inner left hemisphere of the brain is not in balance with the right. And we often hear this terminology of, the Piscean age, which we had been in. Now we're transitioning into the Aquarian age. The Piscean age was about the patriarchy, right? So it's honoring, in my understanding, honoring of the way that we do things in this world was valued more from the masculine hemisphere of the brain qualities, right? Productivity, action structure, getting things done. The creative side, the creative hemisphere of the brain was kind of isolated to the artists, right? So we didn't really have to understand. It was just this beauty and creation and the muse of things. So I'm here to say that I believe, and this is for myself, and this is what the work I've done, is that before I looked anywhere outside of myself, and in fact, I don't look anywhere outside of myself, is to figure out how I've been honestly living. Where have I been devaluing my own feminine yin principles to fit in and be valued and successful in a world that primarily has the ideology of the patriarchal structure. So we all know this. Women have had to, in essence, become like men to survive and thrive. And that's cost us a lot as women. Yes, it's given us self-confidence, and it's given us a lot of things that we felt that we needed to reclaim and have. I understand that. But at some point, the feminine vessel wants to incorporate her feminine energy as well. And it's been very fragmented how we've done this in the past. If you have a career, a successful career, doing whatever that requires you to work a 7 to 5 job, you've got your responsibilities, there's no flow, there's no time for you to really do what you feel you need to do each day. There's no time off when you're menstruating. There's hardly any time off when you have a baby, unfortunately. It's like you've had to shift out of your energy to be truly respected in the world. And now there's this weird imbalance amongst most individuals, myself was included in that, and society. It's a reflection. So in regards to Jordan Peterson's claim of the yin is chaos and feminine and the masculine is order, I agree with this, but I think that what's missing there is that let's look at the right and left hemisphere of the brain within ourselves. Let's feel out where our own yin energy is not in harmony with our own masculine energy. Where are we not honoring who we are as individuals within our own energy? Where are you not honoring your feminine principles? Are you conforming to a job or a relationship or a paradigm? Are you complying with a paradigm that is the antithesis of what you need to be happy and full? This is where we're at. We're at this breaking point where many of us are realizing, wait a minute, what I'm doing or what I'm participating in isn't healthy for me. And now it's to the point where we're realizing our own responsibility in how we comply with these particular systems, okay? So yes, the yin can be very chaotic, especially when I'm giving a female example here, because that's my example. When she's in balance, she can get chaotic, okay? So if she's operating under a structure that's not permitting her feminine essence to be valued or for her to live the way she needs to live amongst these different seasons throughout the month that she goes through and things that arise, she does get chaotic, okay? But what's not mentioned there is if she were to be able to thrive in a society, in a structure, in her life where her feminine is valued as much as her masculine, she's not chaotic. She's balanced. She's integrated. She's aware. She flows. She's not chaotic at all. But again, you have to kind of first do this work within your mind. I made several videos, you can look back on my YouTube channel and even on my Facebook page, about how I openly admit that, I thought I was an empowered female, but I was really exhibiting a lot of inverted masculine qualities. So not the healthy masculine, but more like dominating, aggressive, manipulating. These aren't feminine qualities. This is the chaos that arises, which is more of masculine dominating external energy when her needs aren't getting met. Okay? So I don't know if this is making any sense to you, but I just kind of wanted to give my 2 cents on how I was able to improve my own balance within myself. Is the yin energy, the feminine, is not chaotic when she has an environment that she can thrive in. She's amazing, divine, gorgeous, amused, creative, nurturing. This is just something that the world does not value. We value it when we want to. We value it when we have time, right? We value beauty when we have time. Oh, I'll do a salt bath tonight because I have time. I'll go to the museum because I want to look at beautiful art. I'll go out to dinner and have a beautiful glass of wine. It's like we use the feminine energy when we have time for her. Well, that's not how the true authentic feminine is meant to thrive in our society. She's meant to be there amongst her masculine energy at all times. We don't just operate from this structure one way and then escape to the feminine to find pleasure. That's the inversion. That's what we shouldn't actually be doing unless you're very self-aware of it, right? So how can you find a way as a woman or a man to kind of figure out what are my energies? If you don't even know what it is, you can look back or you can just Google what is masculine energy, what is feminine energy, look up the right and left hemisphere of the brain, educate yourself. And then ask yourself honestly, what is my proclivity? Do I feel do I contribute to the world most when I'm in a masculine energy? Do I feel successful? Do I have self-esteem issues where I feel like I've got to push myself until I kill myself or I won't be recognized in the world? You got to get honest with yourself first. Where are you? And on aggregate, not everybody, the time that we're in right now is where the masculine is kind of going through his own little process, but there's been a long time of him being more silenced because the woman has been on this empowerment movement. She's the one now speaking and kind of saying, hey, things aren't right. We need to change things. But in those empowerment movements, we have to be deliberate to not fall into the default or trap of going back into that inverted masculine energy. Insulting people, telling men that we don't need them, trying to do it all. This is harmful. This is harmful for women. It's harmful for you. You shouldn't be doing it. It's not an authentic, healthy, integrated feminine energy. It's a way for you to reclaim power. But at some point, you got to stop that, okay? And you got to realize that we're meant to be together. Your own masculine and feminine energy have to be communicating and dancing in a healthy way. And then once that inner state starts to become balanced, your outer state can start to reflect that more. Okay, so as Jordan Peterson said, the yin is chaos, the masculine is order. That's not true. It's only true when the yin, the feminine, doesn't have an accessible environment for her to be a woman in. So thank you guys. I'll be back. Have a great night.